Picture this. It's Saturday night, June 6, 2026.
Oh man, what a night.
Right. You are packed inside T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. You, along with 18,232 screaming fans.
Just absolute chaos in that building.
It really was. You are watching Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Final, and the Vegas Golden Knights have just, well, detonated on the ice.
Yeah.
They score 4 goals in exactly 6 minutes and 26 seconds.
Which is just an eternity when you're on the wrong side of it.
Oh, completely.
Yeah.
The noise in the arena is deafening. Everyone in the building assumes it's a total blowout. But then, the opposing team, the Carolina Hurricanes, they come out and score 3 goals in a staggering 39 seconds.
Yeah, not 39 minutes, 39 seconds.
Exactly. I mean, a 4-0 deficit is just suddenly gone. It's 4-4.
Yeah.
And then the game drags deep into double overtime.
And the players are just running on fumes at that point.
Totally. Until a defenseman who has been skating his absolute heart out for nearly 40 minutes of ice time fires a 61-foot slap shot to win it.
Just an incredible ending.
Vegas takes Game 3 5-4, and they grab a 2-1 series lead.
It is genuinely one of the most chaotic games in modern finals history, you know? Like, you have two completely contradictory narratives existing in the exact same 60-plus minutes of hockey.
And untangling those narratives is our mission today. Welcome to our deep dive. For this one, we've brought a massive stack of sources to the table, right? We've got post-game interviews, tracking data, tactical breakdowns from beat writers, and at the absolute center of it all, the official NHL box score.
Which is just wild to look at.
It is. We are laying this box score out on the table like evidence. Because when you read it, I mean, it feels like you're analyzing a crime scene where the fingerprints belong to 2 completely different suspects.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
We're going to figure out who really controlled this game. So for you listening, whether you're a diehard hockey fan or, just someone fascinated by human performance under intense pressure, this is the ultimate case study in system versus talent.
It really is, because on one hand, you have the sheer, just explosive offensive brilliance of individual stars, and on the other, you have this relentless mechanical team system that simply refuses to break down.
Okay, let's unpack this. We have to start with the whiplash of those 2 historic scoring storms. In this second period, Vegas completely erupts.
Yeah, they just took over.
Thomas Hertl gets a power play goal at 10.26, and that just, it lights the fuse. By 16.52, Vegas has scored 4 goals.
4 goals in a span of 6 minutes and 26 seconds. It's just staggering.
And the craziest detail from the play-by-play data, Vegas actually had 2 more goals waved off in that same exact period.
Right, due to the Carolina coaches' challenges.
Yeah, 1 for offside and 1 for goalie interference.
I mean, the physical and emotional pressure Vegas was applying there, it was suffocating. Like, the puck actually went into the Carolina net 6 times in a single period.
That's just insane.
It is. For a team to sustain that kind of offensive zone time against a premium defense, it's almost unheard of in the modern NHL.
But then, the third period is where the data gets completely bizarre. Carolina answers.
And how?
Yeah. Martinook scores at 7.03, assisted by Jarvis and Stankoven. Then Hall scores at 7.29, assisted by Aho and Blake.
Right.
And then Staal scores at 7.42, assisted by Slavin and Robinson. That's 3 goals from 3 completely different sets of players in 39 seconds.
It's a 4-0 deficit becomes 4-3 in barely half a minute of game time. Just think about that.
And they eventually tie it at 18.18 on a 6-on-4 power play goal by Svechnikov. Now, I mean, the common sports narrative here is to just lazily blame momentum, but I have to push back on that.
Yeah, momentum is such a catch-all term.
Exactly. Momentum doesn't seem to explain how a team gives up 4 goals, survives the sheer terror of 2 coaches' challenges, goes into the locker room, and then suddenly flips a switch to score 3 goals in 39 seconds. Tactical systems failed here.
Well, what's fascinating here is the psychological breakdown behind those tactical failures. You have to remember the historical context of the 2 men behind the bench.
Right, the coaches?
Exactly. You've got John Tortorella coaching Vegas and Rod Brind'Amour coaching Carolina. These are arguably the 2 tightest, most defensively rigid coaches in the entire league.
They really are.
I mean, they build their entire philosophies around structural control, blocking shots, positional discipline, to see both of their systems completely disintegrate into these track meet scoring bursts on the exact same night. It's a massive statistical anomaly.
It's kind of like watching 2 incredibly secure bank vaults fail on the same night. because both bank managers suddenly forgot to lock the front doors.
That's a perfect analogy.
Because the defensive systems were theoretically there, right? But the mental execution just vanished.
Yeah, because Vegas didn't score 4 goals purely on emotion. They exploited a very specific tactical vulnerability in Carolina's fault. And then Carolina didn't score 3 goals on Magic. They reestablished their fundamental structure right when Vegas's execution lapsed.
And that tactical vulnerability Carolina suffered in the second period, well, that's exactly what one specific player was exploiting all night. Mitch Marner.
Oh, he was unbelievable.
He assisted on that opening Hertl goal, and then he just took over the game. He scores at 10.42, again at 14.32, and then gets his third at 16.52.
A hat trick in 6 minutes and 10 seconds?
Yeah, giving him 4 points in a single period, and his 10th goal of the playoffs overall. This completely rewrites his redemption arc, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. This is a guy who was heavily criticized for years for going quiet in the postseason. And now, I mean, he's the offensive engine of a cup contender.
But tactically, how did he do it?
No.
The sources say Vegas was ruthlessly overloading the strong side.
Right, because Carolina's defensive structure is so incredibly aggressive, they naturally overcommitted to the puck, which left these massive blind spots on the weak side.
And Marner was just waiting there.
Exactly. Marner is an absolute genius at finding that quiet ice. He sneaks into that blind spot behind the coverage, completely preloaded and ready to shoot. So when Vegas made those quick cross-ice passes out of the strong side overload, Marner was already waiting. It's elite hockey IQ. I mean, he's anticipating where the defensive holes will be 2 seconds before they actually open up. He's letting Carolina's own aggression work against them.
But, you know, the cruelty of sports is that you can be a tactical genius in the second period and completely human in the third.
Oh, man, yeah, here it comes.
Because at 4.04 of the third period, with Carolina storming back, Marner gets awarded a penalty shot. A free one-on-one chance against the goalie. 60 feet of open ice to ice the game.
The dream scenario for a scorer.
And he misses it. It's like delivering the most brilliant presentation of your entire career and then immediately tripping over the microphone cord on your way off the stage.
That's exactly what it felt like.
He has the best offensive night of his life and a gut punch failure in the same 60 minutes. How does a player even process that?
It is the ultimate duality of elite sports. It requires an incredible amount of compartmentalization, you know? If Marner dwells on that miss, he's useless for the rest of the game, and Vegas needed him for almost a full 20 minutes of overtime after that.
But that missed penalty shot didn't happen in a vacuum, though. It introduces the craziest variable of the night, which is who Marner was actually skating down on.
Right.
Carolina's starting goalie, Frederik Andersen, he faces 16 shots and gives up 4 goals through the first 2 periods. So for the third period, Brind'Amour pulls it, and in comes Bussi.
Entering for his first ever playoff action.
Right. I want you listening to just put yourself in Bussi's skates for a second. You are an NHL backup. You've been sitting on a bench in a freezing cold arena for 2 hours. Your legs are stiff.
You haven't tracked a live puck in a real game scenario in weeks.
Exactly. And it's game 3 of the Stanley Cup Final. Your team is down 4-0. You step onto the ice completely cold. And 4 minutes in, you have to face Mitch Marner, who just scored his 6-minute hat trick on a penalty shot.
And Bussi stops him.
It's cinematic.
Not only does he stop him, Bussi goes on to make 18 saves on 19 shots, only getting beaten deep into the second overtime. It's genuinely one of the greatest relief appearances in recent memory.
So from my notes on Carolina's tactical setup, they run what's essentially called a hydraulic press.
Yeah, that's their bread and butter.
Right. They rely on a heavy first forechecker, the F1, to fly in and separate the puck carrier from the puck with a physical hit. But tactically, does a team play differently in front of a rookie backup who just came in cold versus their veteran starter? Like, how do they seal the zone to protect him?
Well, if we connect this to the bigger picture, a team playing in front of a cold rookie will often simplify their game out of sheer necessity. They know they can't afford defensive mistakes, so they tighten up.
That makes sense.
But Carolina didn't just play it safe. They used the hydraulic press to completely choke out the neutral zone. Once that F1 separates the man from the puck, the F2, the second forechecker, immediately pinches down to seal the wall.
They just trap him.
Exactly. The defensemen step up, squeezing the ice so the puck literally cannot be cleared. They win the ensuing wall battle, dump the puck back into the corner, and just cycle it again. It is utterly exhausting for the defending team.
And Bussi's save on that Marner penalty shot, it felt like it provided the spark. It told the skaters, hey, the rookie has our back. Now go execute the press.
Yeah, it was total emotional fuel.
And that relentless cycle is exactly how they cracked Vegas's defensive trap. Because Tortorella's trap relies on forcing turnovers in the neutral zone, right? But if Carolina just dumps it perfectly and their F1 gets there first, the trap is bypassed entirely.
Precisely. The trap only works if you can intercept the puck in transition. By dumping it in and winning those physical battles on the boards, Carolina completely neutralized Vegas's structure.
Which brings us to the underlying data, because this is where the thesis of our deep dive really crystallizes. The scoreline lies.
It absolutely does.
You look at the final score, Vegas 5, Carolina 4, and you assume Vegas held on to win a tight one. But the advanced stats show a completely different reality. Carolina won the third period 4-0.
Yeah.
And the way they fueled that hydraulic press was by absolutely dominating the faceoff circle.
Faceoffs are the engine of possession. If you start with the puck, you control the pace and you dictate exactly where the game is played.
And the numbers here are staggering. Carolina won 59% of the faceoffs to Vegas's 41%.
That's a massive gap in a finals.
Jordan Staal was an absolute monster. He won 18 of his 27 draws. That is 67%. Jankowski was at 65%. Meanwhile, Vegas captain Jack Eichel was just suffocated, winning only 13 of his 38 draws. A miserable 34%.
You just can't win consistently with those numbers.
And get this, Carolina had 30 giveaways compared to Vegas's 25. But that's purely a byproduct of having the puck for the entire period. Vegas didn't even have the puck enough to give it away.
Because Vegas couldn't win a faceoff, they couldn't execute a clean breakout. They were just pinned in their own zone. And you can see the desperation in the physical stats.
Oh, for sure.
Vegas threw 66 hits compared to Carolina's 42, and they blocked 30 shots to Carolina's 14. I mean, Vegas wasn't really playing hockey in the third period. They were desperately barricading the door against the press.
And they held that barricade until 5.38 of double overtime, which leads to the game-winning goal by Shea Theodore.
What a moment.
We really need to talk about the physical toll here. Theodore logged an unbelievable 39 minutes and 9 seconds of ice time.
Almost 40 minutes.
Think about the sheer lactic acid buildup in your legs after 40 minutes of NHL hockey, especially playing through that suffocating hydraulic press. Yet, he somehow finds the strength to wind up and blast a 61-foot slap shot, assisted by McNabb and Howden to end it.
Just an incredible display of endurance.
Vegas wins 5-4. But given how completely Carolina was dominating the puck, how does a shot from 61 feet actually find the back of the net?
Well, this is the fatal flaw of relentless pressure. After executing the hydraulic press perfectly for an hour of game time, Carolina finally overpursued. Just one exhausted mistake.
Wow.
Their high forward pinched just a fraction of a second too early, and that gave Theodore a clear shooting lane. Combined with a massive screen in front of Bussi, the rookie goalie never even saw the release. Theodore just threw it into traffic, and it found daylight.
And the 3 stars of the game went to Theodore, Marner, and McNabb, all Vegas players.
Naturally.
Here's where it gets really interesting, though. I'm going to push back a bit on this narrative of Carolina's statistical dominance.
Okay, let's hear it.
Because the data says Carolina controlled the puck, right? They won the faceoffs, they broke the trap, but they still lost. There are no style points in the box score. Doesn't this game ultimately prove that individual star power like Marner finding the quiet ice and Theodore's marathon endurance just straight up trumps a perfectly executed team system?
This raises an important question, and it's really the eternal tension in team sports. System raises your floor, right? It guarantees you will always be competitive. Carolina's system is the only reason they were able to come back from a 4-goal deficit in the first place.
Sure.
But stars raise your ceiling. When a game goes into double overtime and the systems have physically ground each other into absolute dust, you need a Shea Theodore to find the strength to fire a puck through traffic. You need a Mitch Marner to process the ice faster than the defense. Vegas survived because their sheer top-end talent masked their structural collapse.
It's a high wire act for sure.
Yeah.
So Vegas takes a 2-1 series lead, and they get home ice for Game 4. They prove they have the elite finishers. But Carolina proved they control the actual mechanics of the game. They proved they can systematically erase a 4-0 deficit in the Stanley Cup Final.
Yeah, the probability models lean slightly to Vegas for Game 4, maybe 55 to 57%, given home ice and that star power. But realistically, it's a coin balanced perfectly on its edge. Yeah, because Vegas cannot rely on getting outpossessed and outdrawn every single night and just expect their stars to bail them out forever. Carolina has the formula. They just need to maintain the discipline to not over-pursue in those critical micro moments.
So what does this all mean for you listening? Let's zoom out a bit, because there's a fascinating lesson here for all of us. Even if you never lace up a pair of skates.
Oh, absolutely.
Whether you are walking into a massive boardroom negotiation or you're launching a complicated creative project, you eventually have to decide what you trust more. Do you rely on a steady grinding system, your own personal hydraulic press, that methodically wins the small battles, controls the data, and mitigates risk day in and day out?
Or do you trust the unpredictable, explosive flashes of individual brilliance?
Exactly, hunting the quiet ice, where you or your team can just completely upend the board in 6 minutes.
That is the perfect translation, because most of the time we want the comfort of the system, right? We want the spreadsheet to tell us we're winning the face-offs of our daily lives.
We love a good spreadsheet.
We do. But Game 3 showed us that sometimes sheer brilliance defies the spreadsheet entirely, which, leaves me with a final thought about the psychology heading into Game 4.
Let's hear it.
If a team erases an impossible 4-0 deficit, absolutely dominates the underlying stats, but still loses on a 61-foot shot in double overtime, who actually wakes up feeling better the next morning?
That's a great question. Is it the team that blew a massive lead, got completely outplayed for 40 minutes, but survived by the skin of their teeth because their stars delivered?
Or is it the team that lost but proved to themselves and their opponent that their system is inevitable and they are never truly out of a fight? The mental warfare in both of those locker rooms right now must be just staggering.
We walked into this deep dive looking at a box score, like a crime scene, trying to find out whose fingerprints were on the game. And the answer is both of them.
Yeah.
They both controlled the game, just in completely different dimensions. The mechanics versus the magic. The system versus the stars.
And we get to see which one breaks first in Game 4.
I cannot wait. Keep your eyes on the quiet ice, and we'll catch you next time.